Shalom, Israel. Just bear with me for one moment, please. Bear with me for one moment. All right. Salakia. Shalom, Israel. I am priest and officer Gabar. We are ISUPK Connecticut. We're ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Since 1969, the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, has been teaching so-called blacks, because we're not that, so-called Hispanics, because they're not that, so-called Native Indians, because they are native, but they are native to Israel. You understand? Their true culture and heritage as it pertains to the Bible, most importantly, to history and archaeology backed, that we, before slavery in America at least, and slavery during the Triangle Trade and the diaspora, called the North Atlantic slave trade, that we are the Israelites, all right, and that our oppressor, who is the oppressor of the earth, the oppressor of all peoples, really, including himself, if he's not in line with the top of that structure, all right, is the devil, which means deceiver, simply means deceiver. If you look up the word devil, the origins or the etymology, um, the what? The devil is the deceiver. You understand? Just bear with me while I put a couple of things in the chat. Baba Kasha. Just bear with me, please. Excuse me. Shalom. I am priest and officer Gabar. Also, want to make sure everything's going smoothly, so Baba Kasha, you can just bear with me. Remember, please, to like, share, comment. Like, share, comment. Even if you don't agree with what's being said, man, help the algorithm spread this truth. Spread the truth about who the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. The Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is struggling. They're struggling in America. They're struggling with their identity. They think there's so many things. We are confused, man. We don't move with wisdom. We don't move with loyalty. We don't move with love for one another, man. We really move in selfishness. We move in self-loathing. We move in self-hate. You understand? And we need to learn as a people that those things are harmful, and that first of all, we're a nation, and those things are harmful for that nation, the nation of Israel. We need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments and learn who we are. Shana, Yahweh, Shalom, sis. Shalom to Yapash Ayara, Yahweh. Shalom to Labah Banyamyan. All right. Shalom, sisters. Yahweh Shamar Alatam by Hashem Yahushai to all of you. All right. Again, you know what we've lost? We've lost the ability to trust. And that's what last Wednesday's law class was about. And today's law class will continue as part 2 of that class. We have lost trust. Salakia. Oh, wow. Salakia. Having a bit of difficulty, Salakia. Remember to sign into the chat so that your attendance can be kept. Be seen, man. Don't be afraid. Be seen, be heard. It's all right. Be seen and be heard, man. Don't hide. We as a people don't hide from nothing else, but we sure enough hide from God, don't we? Just a couple more minutes, lucky. And for those who don't know, Salaki means, excuse me. Lamar, you signed into YouTube? Yipashaira?
I'm signing in.
No sweat. All right, let me just take care of YouTube and then we'll be all set and we can continue. All right. Again, shalom to Yapa, Shayara, Yahawada, and Lababa and Yamyan.
Shalom.
Yapa, Shayara, if you could give me Proverbs 3 and 28, we'll start there. Again, this is a continuation of last Wednesday's class, so if you have missed that class and you are interested on getting those scriptures that we went over that day, just you can go back on YouTube or on Facebook and you'll find them. Remember that attendance is required to be counted so that you can get your Hebrew name after 90 days. Attend class for 90 days, and after that, you will get a Hebrew name. That is one of the benefits. There are other benefits, but come to class and you'll find out. All right? Excuse me. Pardon me. I have to just share this with a couple people, and then we will continue class. No doubt. Okay. Trust in God, man. Following the laws of the Israelites is trusting God. What does that mean? How does that look? You know what I'm saying? What is that? What am I really saying? Trusting in God is something that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is not doing in today's society. In today's society, we're trusting in man, we're trusting in man's laws, we're trusting in ourselves, psychiatrists, psychologists, right? We're trusting in mom and in dad. We're trusting even our children more than we're trusting who the entity that made us, which is God, which is the Most High, which is Yahweh. We would rather say, my mom and my dad made me, rather than to say, God is who brought me here. The Lord is who put me on the earth. By using my parents as a vehicle. We don't even talk like that anymore. And let me tell you something, that's unwise. That's unwise. The Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian have a history book slash book of wisdom slash book of law slash everything. We have the moral and ethical content that the whole world follows and don't even know it. We don't even know that we're the people that God loves the most if we just do what he says. We look at the stringency of the Bible. We look at the laws of the Bible, the the fact that we can't do whatever it is we want to do. We look at that as restriction. But if you have a good mother or father, some people are raised by their grandparents, aunties, uncles. If you have someone who truly loves you, they're going to tell you no for your own good because obviously you're doing something that you don't know is going to hurt you. And many times that's what we're doing. We are hurting ourselves. You understand? When we lie, we hurt ourselves because eventually, if you keep lying, who's going to believe you? Don't you want to be believed? And then some people will say, well, I don't care who believes me. Really? Let the police accuse you of murder when you were actually at home eating cereal, watching cartoons, and see if you're okay with that. Okay, I guarantee you're gonna be like, nah, man, that's not fair. You understand? We as a people, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the Negro, the Latino, the First Nation of America, have lost faith in each other because we've lost faith in God. All our issues stem from a lack of trust in the Lord. And then the inability or the lack of responsibility to do what he says. It's a responsibility to do what God says. And it's not easy. Let me tell you, it's not easy to be righteous. It's not easy to um, walk that narrow path that is righteousness. It's not easy. Sometimes it's disappointing. Sometimes you have to struggle with demons, man. That say, "Oh, you know what? Bump that person or I'm gonna get back at that person. I'm gonna get back at that brother. I'm gonna get back at that sister." You know what I'm saying? I hate them. Listen, man, you're not supposed to have hate in your heart, man. As a people, we've been downtrodden. We've been made to serve bondage and captivity for over 500 years, man. Our women were raped. Do you know what our women were called? They were called cum buckets by the oppressor because they would just rape them, cum in them. If they had a baby, okay, have that nigga baby. If they didn't have a baby, I'm gonna do it again. They didn't care about our women, man. And our men were forced to hate our women. How? How do you know what I'm saying? How? I'm gonna explain how. Because if I have a wife, right, and I get put into bondage, and I'm watching the oppressor rape her time and time again, am I not eventually going to feel a way about it? Am I not eventually going to say, she's got to be loving it? She ain't fighting back no more. Our women don't fight back. Our women surely don't fight to be with us, and we don't fight to be with them. You know what we fight for? We fight for independence. We fight for loneliness. We would rather be independent thinking, right? As men and women, independently thinking. Going out there, oh, I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to do this. I got goals. I got goals. But one of your goals is not to find a mate and procreate in a healthy way. I rarely hear that. I have tons of friends, and I rarely hear, or I have tons of associates of people, Salakia. And I rarely hear people actually focus on Finding someone that's going to be a support system, a personal support system that's going to pat them on the back when it's needed, push them forward when it's needed, pull them back when it's needed, and stand next to them whether things are good or bad. I don't see that happening. That conversation. I don't. The only place I hear it, let me tell you, I'm sorry. So, Lucky, the only place I do hear it is in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I hear men commit themselves to women so that that woman doesn't have to jump from bed to bed to bed and continue to be a cumbucket. So that when the men were being broken, right, breaking the buck, when the men were being broken by the slave masters, men raping them and de-emasculizing us as men, and we wonder why homosexuality is just sweeping through the black community right now. There was a time where hardly any of us would have been homosexual or lesbian. There was a time where we didn't even think that way. Our oppressor thinks that way. Our oppressor has that as a lifestyle. Our oppressor is pushing it as a lifestyle. Our oppressor puts money forth to fund hypersexualized videos, hypersexualized movies, hypersexualize everything, because our oppressor wants you to be distracted by that and that alone. That should be enjoyed in a relationship that is defined. That should be enjoyed by two people alone, intimately, and homogeneously. You know what I'm saying? It should be enjoyed by both individuals. Many times, the enjoyment's there, and then somebody jets off, somebody skates, finds somebody else. And many times, let me tell you something. I am not. By no means am I an old man, and in no means am I a young one. I'm in the middle. And I tell you, I hear more regretful stories about the one I let go. Do you know why we let that one go? Because we're selfish. Because we don't take the time to trust in God, right? You have all the signs that this is going to work, but you're so screwed up, you go choose something that is less than perfect. You understand? And why is that? Because you can't guide yourself. You don't know what to do. Well, the Lord, guess what? The Lord put a book here, right? It's called the Bible, it's called the scriptures, it's called the Tanakh and the Torah, you know what I'm saying? The Lord put information, made information up for us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to benefit from, called the Bible. If we only would pick it up, only would study it, only would just take a little bit of time out of your day and read it and come to class so you can understand it, because you're not going to understand it on your own. You understand? You need to learn the Bible from the Lord of the men. It's like it, from the men of the Lord. You need to learn the Bible from the priests and prophets of the ISUPK who have the breakdowns, who have the knowledge of what this means and what that means practically, not in a way that's spooky. You know what I'm saying? Not in a way that's religious. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, man. The Christian church has made the Bible something that everybody wants to avoid. You understand? Because they've put religiosity on it. They've made it spooky. They've made Christ not come from two individuals having sex. They made Christ from God putting it in her stomach miraculously. Nah, that was Joseph. Joseph was like, "Damn, Mary, you look good, girl." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take you. And that's how we all come into this world. But no. the Christian church, all the different denominations have caused confusion. They've put religiosity, they've put this religious spin on it. I mean, let me tell you something. There are miracles in the Bible, right? There are miracles in the Bible. But the miracle of that man meeting that woman, the spirit being on them to take her wanting to be with him, that is the miracle. That is the miracle. You understand? When it's not just based in lust, when there's commitment there. That is a miracle. You got that? Nice and loud.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 28.
Uh-huh.
Say not unto thy neighbor, go.
Salaki. Say not unto thy neighbor, go. Go ahead.
And come again.
And come again.
And tomorrow I will give.
And tomorrow I will give. Don't say to your neighbor, listen, man, come back tomorrow, man. Listen, go home tonight, right? Come back tomorrow and I got you. Don't do that. Go ahead.
When thou hast it by thee.
When you already have it sitting right there, man. Our people are good for that. Somebody asks you for money and you act like you ain't got it. Knowing that person, or maybe not knowing, but not trusting that person is actually asking you from genuine need. Read that again. Uh-huh.
Say not unto thy neighbor.
Don't say to your neighbor, and your neighbor are the children of thy people, thy kin, right? Go ahead.
Go.
Go.
And come again.
And come again. Come back again. Leave. Come back tomorrow. Go ahead.
And tomorrow I will give.
And tomorrow I will give. You won't give now. You're going to give tomorrow. And you know what the reality is? You're probably not going to do that then either. Because you know that person is probably not going to come back. You're telling them to go so that you don't have to deal with them. Because when they come back, you're going to act like you're in your house. You're not going to answer your door. You're not going to answer your bell. When they call your phone, you ain't going to answer that either. Because you're selfish. And you're a coward and you're afraid. You don't trust. You don't trust that person is going to reciprocate what you're doing for them. You don't trust your God because your God gave you commandments against that. And you surely don't trust God. And you don't trust in the laws that the Lord gave that are to keep us in alignment with one another. Read.
When thou hast it by thee.
When you have it by you. Go ahead.
Verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Devise not evil against thy neighbor.
Devise not evil against thy neighbor. Don't contemplate through your wicked ways to deceive someone that the Lord made for you to love, which is your people, man. Now, listen, I'm not saying be a fool either. By no means am I saying that, because there are some of us in the truth and there are some of us out of the truth that are in the world. Now, someone in the world will take advantage of you, but you have to have discernment as to who's who, what's what, and which is which. So the question is, are you paying attention? Do you even have the ability to know the difference? Well, if you're in the world, you don't. If you're in the world, you don't know your ass from your foot. You really don't. Because you'll do anything for the sake of lust. You'll do anything for the sake of selfishness. You'll do anything for money. You'll do anything for any reason. But when you come into the truth, when you come into the light of knowing who you are, according to history, true history, because let me tell you something, man. You better hope the sky don't crack open. And the Bible says it could happen at any time. That Christ will come like a thief in the night. If you've not taken the time to even learn what's in the Bible, how do you know what might happen? Do you even and again, this leads to other conversation about us investing time in ourselves. We don't even invest time in ourselves. We don't trust in ourselves. Again, why? Because we don't trust in God. We don't know how special we are. So how can you love yourself when you don't even think you're special? You feel like you're special. You want to feel like it. And many times that's what we say, right? Man, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. Listen, what should you be doing? What is the best thing for you to do minus the feeling? Using your mind and thought, and not this beating thing that speeds up and slows down based on how much blood you need. You know what I'm saying? What should you be doing? What is the best thing for you to do? Well, guess what? It needs contemplation. You got to think about it. And after you think about it, there's no point in thinking about it if you ain't gonna do it. You understand? You got to do it. You got to actually go forth and put one foot in front of the other and start to do. You know how many people want to be millionaires but never save any money? How many people would, oh man, if I had that much money, you had a lifetime to save money and you didn't? No matter how old you are, you could be richer than you are if you had just took the time to do what you want, to do what you're saying. Many of us spend our time wasting time, absolutely wasting time, not forging great relationships, not not trying to excel at what we do. We just spend time complaining and escaping, complaining and escaping. Listen, the ISUPK is here to tell you that there's hope on the horizon, man. There's hope, and that hope has always been here since before you were born. It's called the Bible. The hope for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian are the laws of God. Don't murder your brother. Don't deceive your brother. Don't trust your enemies. All those things are in the Bible. Treat thy neighbor as thyself. If you don't want to be cheated on, Salakia, cheated on. I'm talking in the world wise, right? What you laughing at? We got to define what we mean by certain terms. Listen, I'm talking to the layman. I'm not speaking to someone who knows better, who knows better about marriage and what marriage means, right? I'm talking to someone who has the worldly view of it. If you just do that, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? If you simply take that approach with everything, there'd be no problems. If I don't want to be lied to, then I won't lie. If I don't want to be cheated on, then I won't cheat, so to speak, quote unquote. Again, layman wise. If I don't want to be swindled out of money, then I'm not going to swindle somebody else. If I wouldn't want someone to stab me repeatedly in the chest with a knife, then I shouldn't do it just because I'm angry at you. If I wouldn't want to be shot because I have a slanderous mouth, if I want somebody to forgive me even though I'm angry and stupid at the time, then I should be willing to do that for my brother or sister too. And that's real talk, true story, man. We don't look at life the way we're supposed to in this society. This society has us all pinned up and turned around and upside down and inside out. We don't know our ass from our feet. And there's a big difference. There's a huge difference. Let's get Joshua 1 and 6. Joshua 1 and 6, the one. We have to remember who we are. And the only way to do that is to take off all of the layers of deceit, all of the layers of self-doubt, all of the layers of so many things that keep us back from even wanting to put forth effort to doing anything. We are lazy as a people. And again, in the ISUPK, the men in here have learned not to be lazy, have relearned what it's like to be progressive, positive, aggressive in many ways, right? And not to just sit around and waste time. Not to say you can't chill. I'm not saying that. But when it's time to do something, you don't procrastinate. You get up and you do it. You stay motivated. We've relearned how to be motivated. You understand? And when our women are right, we are motivated. When our men are right for our women are motivated because there's a balance there. You understand? Again, we're made to be a unit. And there's two sides of that unit. There's male and female. And if that unit is working properly and in order and succinct, everything works. Both of you move forward, man. You build beautiful families. You learn how to streamline your monies, invest. You do so many things that you would have never done had you not experienced what it's like to truly be loved. First by God and then by each other. Because the Bible, the Most High, the laws, that is the glue, that is the bonding agent that's going to work on both of your behalf. You got that?
Okay.
Read.
Be strong and of good courage.
Be what?
Be strong and of good courage.
Don't be weak and crying in a corner. Okay? Don't be that. The Bible says what?
Be strong.
Be what?
Be strong.
Be what?
Be strong.
The Bible tells you to be strong. Read on.
And of a good courage.
And of a good courage. What does that mean? That means don't be strong just today. Courage is something that is larger than just strength, right? Courage is something that takes time to build and is hard to tear down. You got to have courage and strength. Read on.
For unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance of the land.
Wait a minute. For what?
For an inheritance the land.
No. For
an inheritance.
Before that.
For unto this people.
For unto this people, that is talking someone specific. It's not everybody in the world like Christianity wants to teach you, right? If you read this Bible and come to class, you'll know it's talking about the Hispanics, the blacks, and the Native Indians, the Israelites, according to the Bible, right? This people have what? An inheritance, right? Read on. Which
I swear unto their fathers to give them.
Which the Lord swore unto us. And what is the stipulation? What does the contractual agreement say? It says that you must do these things to be rewarded with this. What are those things we must do? And what is this which is the reward? Read. The land. No, read that whole thing over again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Be strong and of a good courage.
What we have to do is be strong and have good courage, yes.
For unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance.
For unto the Israelites, the land will be divided. What land? All lands on the face of the earth. All lands. The Lord has COVID ripping up shop. Go to stores, man. Go to Dollar Store. Go to Dollar General. Go to Stop and Shop. Go to Geisler's. Go to whatever you got in your town. You know what I'm saying? Go to Wawa if you still got those around, man. You know what I'm saying? Go to wherever you have a store and see the shelves start to empty. Go to Walmart. Sears done closed down. Nobody ever thought Sears Roebuck would have another issue after their first bankruptcy, right? There's no more Sears Roebuck. There's no more of many companies. They're all tanking and going down. They're all in trouble with their supply chains. That is of the Lord. And let me tell you something. For you women and you weak men out here that think you're going to be all right, you got something else coming. If you're not in the truth, if you're not doing as the Lord says to do, you're going to have to suffer more so than you have to. Because if there's no food, what network do you have? If there's no water, what network do you have? What man is going to be next to you to protect you and to make sure you have water and you have food? What man's going to be there for you? And for you men who think you got it under control, you survivalists, don't let your food run out. Don't let that happen, because you'll be eating rats and mice and possums and skunks. You understand? You'll be eating a skunk, smelling horrible and chowing down heavy, because you don't have any more food. Because your supply rations, what you saved up for your 3-month supply, didn't last the year that the Lord put on it. You understand? You got to know something, man. Something's coming. It's big. And guess where you find it? In the trusted book of the Lord, which is called the Bible. The trusted book of the Lord, which has been here for over 2,000 years with the same knowledge, just waiting for you to read it. But you got to trust in the Lord, man. You got to trust in God. You got to trust that there is a God. Some of you don't even trust that there is a God. Some of you are trusting in time. Well, guess who made that? You better trust in the Creator and not the creation. You might not have time to get yourself together, to get yourself straight. You might not have time for that. And don't take it for granted. Read on.
That'll occur.
You all right?
That'll occur.
Read.
Verse 7.
Okay.
Only be thou strong and very courageous.
Wait. Do what?
Only be thou strong and very courageous.
Only be thou strong and what?
Very courageous.
And very courageous. Don't you need a support system for that? You gonna do it by yourself? Read on.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all the law.
Whoa, that thou mayest what?
Observe to do.
That you might seek to do all, go ahead.
According to all the law.
According to all the law. Again, you got to be courageous and do this work, this law. You got to follow the commandments of the Bible. You got to do what God says and not what you say. If your name is LaQuisha, well, LaQuisha, shut up. You understand? LaQuisha don't know what the hell's going on, and LaQuisha need to get into school and learn. You know what I'm saying? If your name is Barry, if your name is Frank, David, you know what I'm saying? Jaquan, shut up, because you don't know what's going on either, man. If you haven't taken in the knowledge, our knowledge, which is the Bible, if you haven't studied it, then you really don't know how to navigate what's to come. And something is coming. And it's going to be big. Many of us thought it was already here when COVID first happened. Listen, I'm driving through the streets. I'm driving through empty streets. And I'm be honest with you, at first, I was like, damn, this is serious. This is about to go down. I'm driving, and I'm seeing one car in a whole half an hour. I'm driving by myself in the streets of Connecticut, in the streets of New York. Times Square is empty. There's no one on the streets, no one even walking. I don't even see homeless people out. Where'd they go? Something's coming, man. And do you trust in the Lord enough to follow what he says so that it can pass over you like it passed over us in Egypt? So,
I heard that too.
yeah. Go ahead.
Kanado occur. Only, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law.
Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead, keep going. You read
Which
that right.
Moses my servant commanded thee.
Which Moses commanded thee. Over 2,000 years ago, Moses gave these laws, right? Gave the structure of the law, right? And it still stands today, man. It still stands today. There's nothing new under the sun. It still stands today. Still stands true. Give me Jeremiah 17:7.
Kanado occur.
Mm-hmm. We're out here, right? In Haiti. You had a man just taken off the street. Cameras pointing at him, too. It is in full sight of a man being kidnapped and put in a car by gunpoint. I live in Hartford. Children have died from fentanyl overdoses because they were dabbling in weed. And some sick individual decided to put fentanyl in the marijuana. And an elementary school aged child died. What, first of all, what is the elementary school child even smoking? Why is the child even smoking weed? Where the hell is his parents at? Who gave it to him? Where did he get it from? Man, listen, we're in a horrible time, man. We're in a time where we want to always self-medicate. Listen, what I'm saying is this. It's time to stop self-medicating. It's time to start loving yourself, loving your people, and first and foremost, loving your God so that you can have the ability to do that. Those two things afterwards. You got to love God first. It's the first step to everything. You got to find the Lord. You understand? You got to seek the Lord. You got to knock on the door. You listen, who's going to know you're there if you don't knock? Who's going to know you even exist if you don't open your mouth? You understand? You have to seek the Lord out, and then the Lord will turn his face to you. Then you will have the benefits which come with obedience to the Lord. You will have courage. Read those things again. What will you have?
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Most High.
Read that again.
Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Most High.
You will be blessed when you trust in God. Read.
And whose hope the Most High is.
And when you have hope that is the Most High, go ahead.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters.
You're gonna be stable and steady. You understand? You're gonna be like a tree planted right near water, right near a stream. Guess what you'll never be as that tree? What will you never be? Look at me. What will you never be if you are a tree and you're planted next to water? What will you never be?
Swayed.
Laba, what will you never be? Huh? That is true, but why will you never be weak or swayed? What do trees need to survive?
Water.
Well, if you're planted next to a stream, what will you never need?
Water.
Woo! There we go. All right. Yeah. You will never need water, man. You will never experience drought. What it's like to not have. If you have hope in God and the things of the Lord. You understand? Read that again from the top.
Okay.
And again, these things are written in Old English, but they all are very practical and very applicable things that you can apply to your life today. You understand? But it takes reading them, and then it takes gaining understanding so that you're not mystically saying, thee, thou, thee, though. You know what I'm saying? And you're not looking at it like in a modern way. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, modern is just another way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's just another, the thought is there, but how you say it is different. So read that again from the top.
Okay. Verse 8.
Verse 8.
For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters.
LaQuisha, you're gonna be like a tree planted next to water. LaQuisha, you will not suffer from drought. You will have water at your roots. You understand? Read.
Okay. And that spreadeth out her roots by the river.
And LaQuisha, your long toes or your roots are going to spread out wide. And you're going to drink from every part of that river. You know what I'm saying? You're really going to be very healthy, LaQuisha. Keep going.
And shall not see when heat cometh.
And what?
And shall not see when heat cometh.
And you won't even know it's hot outside. You're going to be so hydrated. You're just going to have a soft glisten. You ain't going to be sweating hard. You're going to have a soft glistening because you're going to be hydrated. You're going to be well taken care of. Keep going.
Okay. But her leaf shall be green.
And you know what, LaQuisha? That hair is going to be thick, girl. Your edges is going to be tight. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about them edges. You won't have to wear nothing on top of that hair. You'll be able to pick it out and leave it out because you'll be blessed. These are the things that we need to understand. Tyrone, listen, man. You ain't going to need nothing, Tyrone. You ain't going to be hungry. You ain't going to be thirsty. You're going to be straight. If you have faith in God, if you do what God says, regardless of what you feel like doing, don't get me wrong. You got to fight your demons, man. And what is a demon? Like General Hyman said, a demon is something that you fight against. A demon is a feeling or an emotion or a thought that is against the Lord, that is not in alignment with what God says to do or to say or to think like. You understand? That's all a demon is. It used to be called daemon. Back Daemen or Min, Mon, doesn't matter. You understand? And all those things are just things that you have to battle against. Some of us have to battle against whoredom. Some of us have to battle against drug addiction, against depression. Many of our children are so depressed. And when you ask them what makes them depressed, they don't even know why. They don't even know what's going on. They're like, I don't know. I just feel this way. Now, wait a minute. How you feel a way you don't know why? I don't know. I don't know. What do you want from me? I want you to be happy. Well, I don't know how. This is a common thing you hear. I don't know how. You don't know how to be happy? You don't have to tell a child that. But you will have to tell someone pubescent that when hormones start raging. You don't listen, these kids don't even realize it's their hormones a lot of times. And they don't try to steep themselves in positive thoughts and positive actions. They just do whatever comes to mind, and that is so detrimental to their spirit and to whether or not they're going to be successful in life, man. They get stuck in a rut and then end up needing all types of help as older adults because they've not coped and dealt with anything correctly. Let me tell you something, man. Like I said, we all go through problems. Before I came in ISUPK, you know what I'm saying? I had my demons. But by coming in here, by just watching class alone and hearing like the breakdowns and hearing what is said in class and and how relatable it is to modern day, and how I was thinking the Bible's all mystical and spooky and fabulous, you know what I'm saying? When the Bible is so practical and so helpful on like and like multi levels of help, where the more you hear it, the more you have this an understanding and a type of wisdom that just continues and flows. You know? And the more I go to class, listen, every class I'm learning something. I'm never not learning. I can hear this, I can watch the same class twice and learn something new each time. I can year after year hear the Christmas breakdown and still get something more from it, gain a deeper understanding of it. Because that's the complexity of our people, man. Our people are dope. Our people are where it's at, man. Our people are the most intelligent, the kindest, most intelligent, most loving, most honorable people to ever be created by the Most High, man. And let me tell you something. He says it himself. He loves us. That's why he whoops our ass. That's why he chastises us, man. That's why he had to put us into slavery and let us go into slavery. Let us not have our own land. Let us be in the ghettos and the barrios. Let us be fatherless. Let us have horrible mothers. Let us be raised by other people. Let us be raped. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Because we had to be whooped into shape. Because we had to be shown you can't just do what you want. You do what I want you to do. You're gonna do what your forefathers agreed to. Whether you like it or not, whether you remember or not, you're gonna do it. You understand? Read on.
Okay. Verse 9.
Salaki. And you're gonna do it with courage. You're gonna do it, and you're gonna do it with courage. You're gonna do it with strength. You're gonna do it like you mean it. You understand? Read.
Verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The heart is deceitful above all things.
And know this, that stinking brain you got in your skull, that thing that says there's ghosts and goblins and this and that, and you've never seen one a day in your life. There are people 80, 90 years old that swear there's a goblin somewhere and haven't seen a one their whole life. They were born when there wasn't even TV, and they swear there's a goblin somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that, man. All those things ain't real, man. Listen. If you read that again. Read that again. So
the heart is deceitful above all things.
The heart in the Bible is your mind. What does it say about your mind? The heart is what?
Deceitful above all things.
The heart is what?
Deceitful.
The heart is deceitful. Your mind, your thoughts, your doubts, anything that is against the betterment of you is a deceit that you're creating. That mind of yours. If it's not to help you, it's to hinder you, man. Keep reading.
And desperately wicked.
And it's desperate. Your mind is not only deceitful, but it's desperately wicked. Read on.
Who can know it?
Who can know it? Who can know their own mind? Who can know my mind? Only me. Who can know another man's mind? Nobody. The Lord knows your mind, though. Trust in that. Go ahead.
Okay. I, the Most High, search the heart.
Who searches it?
The Most High.
I, God, search your mind. Go ahead.
I try the reins.
I try the reins. I pull you left and right to see how you're going to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Think of a horse. You got Think that you got something coming off you, got two strings coming off you, and you can either turn left or right. It's opposite on the screen. You understand? The Lord will do things. The Lord will allow something to happen to see how you deal with it, to see whether or not you're going to be strong, whether or not you're going to be perseverant, whether or not you're going to give in to the temptation, whether or not you're going to be righteous once you do what you do. Sometimes you're going to do what you do. How will you handle it afterwards, though? What will you do after the fact? Will you keep going down and down and down into lies and deceit? Will you keep going down and down and down into all manner of evil? Or will you step to the plate and say, you know what, I did this. And I don't want to be that person. I want to be righteous. I want to be a loving individual. I want to do the right thing. There was a time where our men, if we got a woman pregnant, we would automatically just seek out to marry her. We would know, like, this, I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to embarrass me. We're gonna get married. I'm gonna learn to love you. I'm gonna be with you, and we're gonna focus on the children, and through that, we're gonna find love somehow. There was a time when that was a common thing, if it happened. You know what happens now? Everybody's for themselves, man. I got you pregnant. Nah, nigga. Nah, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Oh, well, if you're not gonna be with me, shit, I'm about to kill your baby. You call the baby his baby, no, because you know it's his baby. You know he inseminated in you, and now you're threatening to kill his own child that's gonna grow in your belly. You want to kill your own baby. The thing that's supposed to really bring you together. Because you know who brought you together? The Lord. It wasn't you. The Most High brings people together. That's who brings people together in a righteous way. If it happens a certain way, and it's smooth and it's beautiful, and there's conversation and this and that, and then it leads to something else, that's one thing. But if you two got together because you decided to smoke a blunt, and you shared a blunt, and after everybody was high, you're like, fuck it, I'm here. Let's just do this. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get home to my girlfriend or my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm talking in the world. I'm not talking knowledge of what marriage really is. I'm talking in the world. I'm talking to people that have a simple understanding or a worldly understanding of relationships. Because they're still evil bastards, even though they don't know the truth of it. They still go out there and do evil things, man. And again, why? Because they don't trust in the Lord. They don't trust in themselves because they don't know the Lord. They don't know that trusting in the Lord is going to benefit them in the long run. They don't know it. They don't know it. They have no idea of these things. And they should. They should. Not all people now. Because there are many nations, 19 nations on the earth. And not all of them are going to get salvation, man. Salvation is of the Jews. Who are the Jews? Who are the Israelites? Again, the Negro, the Black, the Hispanic, the Latino, the Native Indian, the ones you never see anymore, or you think they're Black, or you think they're anything else other than native to America. You understand? They're the ones that God loves the most. They are the ones that make all the music, all the glorious music, even if it's evil ass music, they make it. You understand? They make things great on the left and the right hands. You know what I'm saying? On an evil way and a good way. You know what I'm saying? God calls us the salt of the earth because we create everything: stoplights, sidewalks, beautiful buildings that are still standing today. You know what I'm saying? All these look at all these buildings that are built, right? Built in the 1701, 16 this, whole towns of houses made of wood that are still standing. Beautiful, well kept houses, man. I live in Hartford. We have the Mark Twain house. Here, you know who built that? Negroes built the Mark Twain house. Negroes built Harriet Beecher Stowe's house. They're here in Hartford, Connecticut. Right next to it. They were neighbors. They were writing buddies. All around that neighborhood, it's called the West End, you have beautiful homes mixed into the ghetto. You know why? Because we live there. You know what I'm saying? Those two of our oppressors people moved around us because those places were occupied by us. And they lived amongst us. We got to understand what's going on, man. We have what's that called? What's that called? What's it called when they go in and take over neighborhoods? What's that called? Ooh. I'm having a brain fart here. Slovakia. What is that called? Gentrification, Slovakia. You have a bunch of you have the ghetto. Property values go down. But the houses aren't exactly, I mean, they're not perfect, but they're not horrible either. Property values go down. And what do? Our oppressor moves in our neighborhoods and starts to build them back up slowly, moving in themselves, and then slowly getting to know the people and seeing what's popular, what's not, and then taking over one building and another and another and another. And before you know it, rents start going up. Rents go up and up and up. They skyrocket. And then you can't afford to live in your own neighborhood and you got to move out or find some of the means of making it work. You got to get roommates. You got to live with other people because you can't afford it and you're getting nothing but older. You understand? And young people that come in, they don't look like you. They're not your people. All the businesses that you used to frequent, that everyone looked like you and cooked your food and wore the clothes that you like to wear, they're gone too. And then they changed the name of your town to an acronym. Upper this and lower that, and oh, it's crazy. That happened. That's been happening forever, and it's gonna continue to happen because our oppressor is an evil bastard, man. Our oppressor is an evil bastard, and our oppressor wants to see us struggle, fight, and claw every opportunity, while our young people suffer in depression, while our people in general, young and old, suffer because they don't have the ability to have good relationships with one another, whether it be platonic or more. They don't even have a good relationship with their damn parents. Okay? And nor do they even want it. And that's sad. We've got to come back together as a people, man. You've got to come into ISUPK. And if it's not now, near future, because the door is open right now. The door is open. These classes are being aired. That's the door being open, man. When you stop seeing the classes, you stop seeing us on the street, worry. Repent then, but worry. That's my time. I'm Priest Officer Gabar Mouth, ISUPK, Connecticut, where ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Since 1969, we've been teaching the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true culture and heritage as it pertains to the Bible, true history and archaeology, that we are the Israelites according to the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. Until next, Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.